Well, let's get back to equities for a moment and talk about retail earnings today because we got the biggie, Walmart reporting its numbers. Biggest earnings surprise in terms of amount by which it beat in 31 years. It saw an increase in sales. It saw a doubling in its digital sales. So pretty impressive numbers here. Dan Roberts, I know you're digging into these Walmart numbers. What stands out to you?
Well, digital sales up by about 100%, which not shocking amid the pandemic, but Walmart has continued to be on an e-commerce surge even from before the pandemic. And I would say pair that with the Target numbers we expect. Target is going to report earnings tomorrow. Target last quarter reported its e-commerce sales were up, I think, like 220%. I mean, these stats are just eye-popping, right? And then if we drill down with Walmart, interesting to hear the company say on the earnings call that the categories that saw the biggest gains were home goods, which of course, and then food. The online grocery delivery business for Walmart has really been up. And of course, also unsurprising when you look at how the biggest story for Uber has been Uber Eats. I mean, people are ordering meals. Of course, the difference there with Uber Eats, you're ordering a meal, and people are also ordering food to be delivered to cook with. It also makes you think that maybe this time could be beneficial to those meal kit companies that were once struggling so much. Remember Blue Apron, which had a terrible debut in the markets, but maybe they can claw back if people are making meal kits at home. But yeah, I just think Walmart is firing on all cylinders. One concern people had before the earnings came out was, well, maybe the profitability won't be so great. Maybe sales will be through the roof, of course, thanks to e-commerce gains, but profitability, not so much because people are mostly buying those low-cost items. Well, that wasn't the case. A big beat on earnings per share as well. So hard to find any real troubling bone to pick at here with the Walmart earnings. And to me, the story is just a continued blowout gains in e-commerce sales. I think soon enough, it's going to be in a situation where, it's not just if you're a retailer, you better have a good online presence. The online presence is more important than the brick and mortar presence.
I think the main troubling point for me is the fact that this quarter may be an anomaly, that this kind of spending, this level of spending may not continue. And that's what the executives did say on the call after the earnings report, essentially saying, hey, those stimulus checks really juiced up our receipts, got people in the stores, got people online, made people feel comfortable, made people feel like their savings account was still in positive territory. And I think the CFO on an interview at CNBC specifically said, we don't want to extrapolate. We don't want to give any sort of guidance as to whether this activity can continue, especially because a second package has not actually been agreed upon. But Dan, I think kind of parsing through your own commentary there, I do feel like if any retailer were to succeed in this environment, it would be Walmart, right? Because it's not necessarily seen as a splurge category. People are not necessarily feeling like they have to be bending over backwards to get an indulgence here or there when they go into a Walmart store or go online. So I do feel like overall they're very well positioned to survive, even if they don't see the same kind of activity we saw last quarter.
And then guys, just anecdotally, to Melody's point, I'm an example. I have bought quite a few things at Walmart.com during the pandemic. Previously, I had never purchased anything from Walmart. I mean, I've only been in a Walmart like twice in my life, but it's just the nature of certain purchases we've made that we have found those things on Walmart. One has been vinyl records, kind of a well-kept secret, but Walmart.com is a great place to order records if you have a record player. And then also we bought an outdoor inflatable pool from Walmart.com. And when I posted about it, 6 different friends, I'm not exaggerating, asked me, where'd you get that? I said, Walmart.com, and all 6 then bought the exact same thing. So I think it makes sense that we're seeing those e-commerce gains for Walmart amid the pandemic.
Who knew? Vinyl records, a huge moneymaker for Walmart.com. I just wanted to mention as well that Home Depot was one of the other companies that appears to have benefited from both stimulus checks and people being home a lot and wanting their home environment to look better. Profit there was up by 25%. It was also interesting, both Walmart and Home Depot, not necessarily seeing as many transactions, but average ticket went up as people perhaps made fewer trips and bought more or even bought more online when they were buying as well.